Inverse of a function. What is inverse of a function? This is a function, and this is the inverse of a function. Let's say we have f of x equal x plus 2. We can say y equal x plus 2. Okay, let's send the 2 to the other side to be negative 2. To get the inverse, replace x and y. After you get the equation in terms of x, replace the two of them, like that. Put the x in y's place and y in x place. Now this is the inverse function. F of x minus 1 equal x minus 2. Let's say this is a function. Okay, we give it a brick, give us a star. Okay, now this is the inverse of the function. Give it the star, gives you bricks. Let's say we have f of x equal x plus 2. This is the x values, and this is the y values. F of negative 1 will be negative 1 plus 2 equals to 1, so y will be equal to 1. F of 0 equals 0 plus 2 equal 2, y will be equal to, and f of 1 equal 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, now for the inverse of the function, x minus 2, this is the x values. Let's give it the range values to see if it will give us the domain values. F of x minus 1, 1 minus 2 will be negative 1. Here, f of 2, 2 minus 2 will be 0, and f of 3, 3 minus 2 will be equal to 1. The same as the domain. So what f of x negative 1 does? It just replaces the domain with the range, replace the x with the y. Here, you see, same values. Here, the same values. Let's say we have x equal negative 1, x equal 0, x equal 1, y equal 1, y equal 2, equal 3. This is the domain. Okay, the range became the domain, and the domain became the range. Types of functions. As the previous function is one-to-one function, each input will give us one output. Okay, many-to-one. This other function, one input can give us the same output. Two inputs can give us the same output. Inverse of many-to-one functions. As the previous, the domain is x equal negative 1 will give us y equal 1, x equal 0 will give us y equal 2, x equal 1 will give us y equal 2. Many-to-one inverse function, the range will be the domain, and the domain will be the range. What will happen now? X of 1 will give us y negative 1, and then here it's just reversed, and x of 2 will give us y equals 0 and y equal 1, and then here but it's reverse. Now we can't have a function that have one input and give us two output. Now this is not a function. So many to one have no inverse function. Many to one inversion is not a function because it has one input and many outputs. In other way, let's say f of x have a point x and y, as example 1 and 2. If we negative 1 of x, if inverse of x, we'll have the point y on x, 2 and 1. They replace the domain and range, replace the x and y. Let's say we have f of x and y. The y will be in the x place and the x will be in the y place. F of x equals 3 and 4. If negative 1 on x, we'll have 4 and 3. Exercise 1. We have a function f of x with the following points: negative 2 and 0, negative 1 and 1, but let's put negative 2 and 0, next to x and 0y, negative 1x and 1 here, 0 and 0 in the origin, then 1 and 2 here, 2 and negative 1 here, 2x, negative 1y here. Find f negative 1 of x points, then draw f negative 1 of x. Okay, let's connect these points. Okay, the first point, we will invert them, will be 0 and negative 2 over here, 0x, negative 2y. The other point, negative 1 and 1, will be 1 and negative 1. 1x, negative 1y here. The other point will be 0 and 0 here. And the third point is 1 and 2. Will be 2 and 1 over here. 2 and negative 1 will be negative 1 and 2. Negative 1 and 2 here. Now, this is the inverse f negative 1 of x. This is f negative 1x points, 0 and negative 2, 1 and negative 1, 0 and 0, 1 and 2, 2 and negative 1, will be negative 1 and 2. Exercise 2. We have a function f of x with the following points: negative 1 and 1 here, 0 and 0, 1 and 1. Find f negative 1 of x points, then draw f negative 1 of x. Okay, the first point will be 1 and negative 1. 1 and negative. We switch the two. Be 1x, negative 1y will be here. Second point will be 0 and 0, the origin. And third point will also be 1 and 1. Okay. This is a new point of f inverse f of x. Now f negative 1 of x is considered a function. Let's see here. F of x is considered a function because it have one input and one output. One input, one output. One input, one output. But here we have 0 give us one input, give us one output. But 1 give us two outputs. 1 give us 1 and 1 give us negative 1. So we have one input, multiple outputs. So the inverse of this function is not considered a function. Remember the vertical line test? Yes, it will intersect in 2 points, more than 1 point. So this is not considered a function. Exercise 3. Find f negative 1 of x for the given function. F of x equals 3x squared plus 5. Okay, we want to make the equation in the terms of x, so we'll isolate x in one side. We have y minus 5 equals 3x squared. Send the 3 to the other side by divide, will be divided. Then take the square root to both sides to get rid of the square. So x will be equal to y minus 5 over 3. The only thing left is to switch between the x and y. So y will be equal to x minus 5 over 3. So f negative 1 of x will be square root of x minus 5 over 3. Exercise 4. Find f negative 1 of x. Let's say f of x equal 20x plus 3. We'll make it y equal 20x plus 3. We'll find this the equation in terms of x. So we'll send the 3 to the other side, then send the 20 by divide. We have y minus 3 over 20 equal x. The only thing left is to switch between x and y. F negative 1 of x, x minus 3 over 20. Good job everyone. Thanks for listening.